What's going on, YouTube? It's good to be back. I was gone for a week. I had some other responsibilities I had to deal with. But today is an exciting day. I'm going to be working on my new composition. To do that, I need to do something that I've never done before, which is use AI to generate a landscape. Now, it's going to be a pretty small part of the painting, but I think it's gonna make it that much better. Um, I have no idea what I'm doing. If you're watching this and you thought this video was like a tutorial on how to do it, um, please just write a comment. Let me know that you want that, and I will follow, and I will literally edit this down to just the important steps and turn it into an actual uh, tried and true YouTube video rather than a live stream where I just try to figure out what the hell I'm doing. So here we got the painting I just finished. You may notice that the pink here is gone. I was looking at it and I decided, nah, I don't like the pink. So this is going to be the photo that's on my website that goes on Instagram. This is about as good as I can get, I think, with photography, at least for now. I can use my good camera here, but it's kind of a pain to unhook. So, oh Jesus, I'm falling behind on chat. What's up, Janet? What's up, Raquel? How's your day going? My day is going delightful, actually. I'm excited to get started on a new painting. It's always a weird, it's like a weird situation where I have an idea, but it doesn't exist yet. Like, I don't really know what it's going to be yet. It's kind of cool, but it's also kind of scary. So, my handy dandy sketchbook, it's pretty sweet. It's got, like, I don't know what that's called. The printed edge on like the side of the pages. I have taken a photo of this and put it into Illustrator, and here we have it. This completely indecipherable image is going to be my next painting, and you'll see that there are some arched windows here in the background, and this is where that machine learnt. The word machine learnt. Uh, uh, why am I blanking on the word? Why do I always blank on stupid words? Landscape. That's where this AI generated landscape is going to be. There's another one back here. To explain what's going on here, it's going to be an apotheosis scene. But my reasoning here is I wanted to make that all of my paintings are all like classic scenes, I guess, kind of in a different light. So apotheosis scenes are always these big grand, we have like Jesus floating in the sky, and it's a really like grand spectacle. And this, I wanted to use the idea of apotheosis, so becoming a god, but turn it into something that was not that grand, like angelic, becoming a god. So what's happening here is it's a murder scene, and I tried to imagine another world where nothing is how it is here, and essentially it's a throne room where the queen, if you will, has been killed, and this other person is trying to saw her arm off to get at a box that is essentially chained to her arm. I don't want to get into exactly what this is, in my head, other than an apotheosis, someone becoming a god scene. There are going to be people reaching in and grabbing at him, like almost like stop, or like, maybe you should dial it back a bit. But there's going to be a big throne, some windows in the back, and this person, and the dead body right here. So I'm going to be painting a dead body for the first time. Are you going to put lots of flowers too in this painting? I don't think it's quite that type of painting, but there will be vessels all over the floor. Maybe I could put a flower or two in some of them, or maybe a plant, maybe some plants. And also, I planned on a shrubbery being outside. That's just to include more greenery into it. But if I'm going to be generating this via AI, there may or may not be a shrubbery. Can the queen be named Pepper? Absolutely not. And she's dead. So I'll let you speculate as to how this is an apotheosis scene. Really, nothing is set in stone here. This is just a very brief sketch. I have a few like compositional notes here. Like I want the face to be right in the center, which is something I typically avoid in composition, is putting something right in the center. But I do want to try this. I want the face of the corpse to be in the center, and everything kind of around it. There'll be like a hectic, a lot of energy over here, and a very calm, serene landscape over here. It's similar in terms of weight, of being like all the weight being on the right side as my last painting. But this one is symmetrical on this diagonal axis, in theory, right? This one is not going to be. This is going to be more like spirally, if you will, around this. Not exactly. It's not going to be, things aren't going to be moving all in the same direction. But that's the idea. Will it happen or not? I guess we're going to find out. The toughest part here is going to be the clothing. It's tough to imagine clothing, on clothing in a way that isn't really like that's not based on something that already exists. I mean, obviously it's going to have to be. Like, I'm not going to like reinvent fashion in my painting, but I have to try and make it look unique enough. Would you like new flowers in the painting? There's probably, I know you're obsessed with flowers, Raquel, but probably no flowers. I wouldn't get your hopes up. Then, however, there's going to be a very like intricate pattern on the carpet. You can see here, classic carpet with futuristic pattern. Futuristic I use loosely, really just something that wouldn't be your traditional classic, tapestry or whatever. So that's where this is at. I have no actual assets yet. So the first one I want to work on is this AI generated landscape. And to be honest, I'm literally starting from nothing. I don't know how to do this. And I hope I can figure it out. So I do have a bit of programming background. Here are the files. Shout outs to Robbie Barrett, who made this based on something else, based on Saumith Chintala's torch implementation of DC-GAN. DC-GAN is just the type of software this is. It's like something network. I don't know. Let me see. What is GAN? Yeah, generative adversarial network. So I guess that's the the type. I guess maybe it's not machine learning in that sense. I don't know. All I know is that it's AI, and it's going to make stuff that doesn't actually exist based on some input. And that input is going to be, if I have control over it, which I hope like hell I do, because if I don't, then maybe this isn't going to work. But if I do, I'm going to be giving it some images of actual landscapes, maybe some like landscapes that are like created to be like alien looking, unique, maybe like views of landscapes that are kind of unorthodox. And depending on what happens, potentially some things that are just absolutely not landscape, and see what happens. So anyway, this is it. I guess I'm going to download it and see what happens. I'm going to hope like hell that this is not a virus. So we have the zip file here, and I guess we'll look at the README. So I don't have anything to open MD files, so we're going to open with Notepad. Open. That not download to? I know. I need to extract it. Why can't I make a new folder? Why can't I make a new folder? Oh, there we go. I'll do this. Don't mind me while I stumble over what I'm doing. PC again. There we go. So we've extracted it. Open. Downloads. Of course, it's not here. All files. Here we go. README. Holy crap. That was far more steps than I was expecting. So scroll to the bottom and find out how you can train your own from regular landscapes network. I don't really know what to do. I guess we're going to install first. This is not quite what I had in mind, so we're going to move this out of the way. Downloads. Do this again. Okay, so install.md. Can I even install an MD? What the hell's an MD, man? You can open and edit an MD file in any text editor. Okay. Well, I opened a Notepad, but I thought that was going to actually install. Okay, we'll take a look at install and see what the hell's going on here. File, open. So I know this is way different than my usual stream. And if it sucks and this is something you're absolutely not interested in, let me know in chat. But until then, I'm going to keep doing it. So, oh, you're killing me. That sucks. I literally can't do this because I don't have Ubuntu installed. I could install Ubuntu on this, on a partition, and I might have to. So I will need to set that up, and I'm not going to do that on stream. I wish I went one step further into researching this to see that I needed Ubuntu, but oh well. Anyway, screw it. For now, I'm going to look into that. Do I really want to install Ubuntu on my PC? I guess there's no reason not to. I can install it on one of my external drives, not a big deal. So yeah, I'll take care of that later. For now, I guess we're going to work on this. So where to even start? I guess we'll start with the overall like structure of the room. Pretty bummed that I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't know if I can change the name of this after the fact, but unfortunately, no AI happening this stream. So I know that I want a carpet. I think for that I can really just find some kind of pattern that I like. Some walls. Is it going to be old style? I mean, it's going to look very classical. So my idea is something much more dynamic. So here, sure. So in this, it's very well lit. The composition is more about the objects, not necessarily the lighting. And I want to challenge myself in making more dramatic lighting. So I don't know if it's going to be quite this dramatic, but this is kind of the inspiration for the lighting scheme. Just imagine this mirrored. Actually, let's actually copy this and place it in here. What I like to do when I'm making things like this, my background is in graphic design, so when I'm working on something, I'll put inspiration around the outside of the art space, so the art board. So this black rectangle here is what the actual image is going to be when we're done. So what I want to do is I want to transform, reflect this. Okay. And so we're going to have more things going on here. On this side, the light, is obviously going to be coming from this side. I don't know what kind of angle we're going to be looking at in terms of that side wall. But I'll sort that out. Once things kind of start coming together, I'll be able to play with the angle of that side wall. So I think for now, we're going to use this as inspiration for the lighting. Let's make that a little smaller. And now I'm really going to be basically diving into Google Images, finding things that are going to contribute to this. It's the same exact thing I did with this painting. Only this was a little easier, I think, because it was so like frontal. There's not a lot of dynamic like angles going on, like foreshortening and things like this. Like I need to find a person like on their back draped over a chair or something. Like it's not going to be easy to find. And if you're not familiar with my process, I like to cut pieces out of images from the internet. So like just a face or like just a mouth, just an arm, and piece them together so that I'm not actually taking something that already exists. I'm kind of creating something new, piecemeal, if you will. So I guess I'm going to start with a unique pattern. Now I mentioned futuristic in my notes. I don't think that's necessarily what I want. But I want something like technical, like a technical pattern. This is absolutely not what I'm looking for. This is like patterns in data. How about, let's try futuristic. I don't think I'm going to like it, but let's see. A lot of hex patterns and stuff. That's not quite what I want. Kind of like this, but I think it's going to be too much like a what are those called? optical illusion. It's going to make the floor look all wonky. Making a puzzle. I mean, the pattern will not be puzzle-like. I'm hoping that the image itself is very puzzling, and you have to really reach for any type of explanation whatsoever. So a lot of these, that's like way too much. That's not the type of vibe I want. I want this to be very alien, not like gray aliens and UFOs kind of thing. I'm thinking more like if the Renaissance was happening on some other planet. That's kind of the idea. With humans, I guess, is another uh, stipulation to that. So I'm not liking any of this at all. Sci-fi, maybe? That could be what I'm looking for. And I apologize in advance. This takes forever. So am I going to be doing all of this on stream? I don't know. I really don't. Because I could literally sit here and look through these uh, Google image search results for hours and maybe find something that I like. The key here is the search terms, which I don't know. I'm not really feeling any of this. I want it to be very intricate, but none of this like hex, like techie kind of shit. So abstract, let's try abstract futuristic. That's kind of cool, but not quite what I'm looking for. That is, it's a little too techy. I don't want to make a Renaissance style painting that has like computer chip schematics on the floor. That would kind of defeat the theme. Ooh, this is not fractals, but when I was looking at this, it kind of looked like fractals. Let's see if we can find a cool fractal pattern. Something that's unique, not the traditional like I don't know, like snowflake kind of deal going on. I want interesting color palette and maybe not. Ooh, that would be cool if it wasn't, I'm assuming, a photo of an actual body of water. Some of these are interesting though. Actually, let me go back. Maybe not. What's this? That's very cool. That would make a good like carpet to begin with. But again, it's a snowflake style thing. This is also interesting. I like the asymmetry in this. And I don't know if that's because that's the actual design or if it's just the cropping of it. But this is interesting. I'm going to copy this, actually. I wonder if this is bigger. What's the size on this? This is bigger, but I think it's cropped different. So we're just going to copy this. We're going to paste this into here. That is not enough pixels, but I guess we can work with it. So if this is the floor, that's going to be a bitch to paint, but I think we can work with that. We could also use something like white charcoal. It doesn't necessarily need to be painted per se, but for now we're just brainstorming. You like this one, Raquel? The one I added, this one. I do like it, but man, I'm thinking about painting that. And if I thought this was miserable, just imagine that. All those little lines like mushed into like just like this little area here. And being foreshortened because they're on the floor going back into space. I must really hate myself. This is interesting. I kind of like this too. But man, that's not enough pixels. I like the snowflake better. No snowflakes. No, it's not allowed. This is interesting as well. It's kind of wild. We're gonna copy this one. Thanks, Big Stock. That's one thing that's cool about working this way, is that this is going to be a painting, so I don't need to worry about watermarks. Nor do I need to pay. However, shout out to Big Stock, I guess, so they can get something out of me stealing their image. If I even do. Although I guess I probably shouldn't document this thieving process. This is interesting, but again, I don't want much of an optical illusion. I'm kind of concerned about the one I just looked at, which I guess it's gone, but it's also pretty interesting. Actually, it's interesting too, but a little too designed, I think. I don't know. Maybe we'll use a little bit of all of them. Starting to lose track of my tabs, and I only have like 4 open. Oh, you know what? I never started the music. I'm such a scrub. There we go. All right, so I like the color palette of this, but there's like no substance to it. Now we're getting into some stuff that's not even fractals. Anybody have any suggestions for, I don't know. I'm gonna say sci-fi, but I know this is not gonna be what I want. This is kind of cool. Maybe a little optical illusion-y. I don't know if I can find one that's less like that. Yeah, that's kind of cool, but okay. I kind of like this. So now we have lots of options. There are not nearly enough pixels in this, but whatever. Now we have a couple options depending on the color scheme that we end up with. We can edit these. I mean, I can just pop them in Photoshop and change the color palette really to whatever I want. But I don't want to put an absurd amount of time into this. So how about some old school walls? I'm talking some stucco. But I need like, I don't want this close up kind of pattern. I need some like really like beat up walls. Worn? Is that a good word? Worn? That's a little better. But again, it's so close up. Like I want like a wider shot of it. Because the walls here, you know, around the windows, essentially the background. You know, I want it to look like walls and not look like this is all happening on like a miniature, like, what are they called? Dioramas. So, this is a bit of a conundrum. What about, this is huge. Like, this is a huge, oh shit. This one? This is saying that's fabric. It's not even stucco. How about this? Can it be big, please? You can't even right click on this. And I don't trust this link. So, nah, thanks. I'm good. As always, it's 1,000 degrees in my studio. I really am. I'm only like a foot away from where I normally am, even though the setup is so much different. Now I'm literally right next to my, literally right here, my PC just generating heat. Do I have water? I do have water. However, I haven't had any yet. Saw my giant tank. This is some captivating content right here. Look at this captivating content. Looking at walls. See, this is kind of interesting. If only I could get... You know what? One thing that I have not used yet, which I do highly recommend if you're doing something like this, so you can go to Tools, Size, and then Large. Then you're only going to get the high definition, like, I guess high resolution, I should say, images. Still, it's the one I was looking at before. Kind of like something more like this with, like, you know, chunks taken out of it. But, or like, you know what? This is like, this is more of an exterior though, but and if this is going to be a throne room, I have to keep that in mind. Like, it's probably not going to be like super beat up. But this is like arched windows. Maybe I'm gonna put this in here just as a reference. Holy crap. So this is strictly just for inspiration. Put that right next to Caravaggio. So that's a little dramatic. That's kind of cool, but it looks like mold or some shit, like water damage. I don't think we want that in our throne room. Actually, let's look at the Caravaggio. It's kind of just a subtle texture. Maybe that one I was looking at is the best option. Oops. Open image tab. Is this the full thing? Oh yeah, look at all those pixels. Okay, now we have something we can really work with. So one thing that we can do now is, let's say we want to make the back wall like be at a specific angle, right? We can go to Vect 3D. Also, I don't know why, but like some of my menu text is bigger than others. Like, look at the size of that text compared to that. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I just had to run an update on Adobe Illustrator because I was using like an old ass version. It was so old that it wasn't working anymore, so I had to update it. I had no choice. So now we can do this. We can essentially, it's a lot of pixels, so this is going to be a little crazy, but you can get the, I hate dealing with this thing, but I don't know, let's say this is going to be pretty straight on, so let's keep it like that, but we just want to get the angle of that blue facet or side of the cube to be straight on, but going back into space to the left. Maybe we want it a bit more dramatic, maybe like that. And perspective, we do want to bump up the perspective a little bit, otherwise it's not going to accommodate perspective. Also, why is there a black stroke around this? I'm not quite sure. But now you can see as we do this, it's a little, there we go. Now we have essentially a back wall. You know, if we copy, paste this, we can essentially make, oh, I guess turning it doesn't actually change the perspective. We'd have to edit this, but you can see how this can make a room. Come on, man. Assuming you have the patience to mess with that damn thing. All right, let's make this super drastic. Probably should have done that before I put all that effort into straightening it out. Yeah. There we go. You can see just like that, we have the beginnings of a room. Obviously, the lighting's terrible. That's not something that I'm going to worry about just yet. I mean, once we have that, we can do something like this, and we could have like light coming in from a window, like that Caravaggio. Could do something. This is not quite right in terms of lighting concept, but you know, we can make it darker. This isn't exactly black, but well, I guess it is. Just looks crappy. But we can do whatever we need to do. So I'm not worried about that. However, I'm going to undo all the shit I did because I don't really want this to be three-dimensional just yet. Right now, it is just, holy crap, what just happened? I think I pressed Control Z one too many times. All right, we still have everything there. I need to copy this again, paste it back in. So what are you guys thinking? Is this worth watching at all? Or is this like watching paint dry? Because for me, it's like a combination of brainstorming, like searching, like right now we have walls, we don't have any figures. So and we obviously don't have our, let's see what happens if we look for alien landscape. I'm sure we're gonna find, yeah, a lot of this like fantasy stuff. This is absolutely not what I'm looking for, but like something like this is interesting. Like this is kind of cool. You can tell it's a composite of like probably an actual canyon. We got some poorly elongated non-circular planets here, and then probably like a cloud pattern over it. Kel says, I like it. Janet says, it's interesting. If you say so. Now, one thing that I can do is there's a place called Socotra Island. And it's like super like cut off from the rest of the world. It's like off of, what the hell is the name of that place? Madagascar, maybe? No, Madagascar is an island. Let me see real quick. Let me see where this is at. Off the shore of Sri Lanka, maybe? I think it's Sri Lanka. Does it say? I don't know. Is this Sri Lanka right here? I don't know my African geography that well. Oh, Yemen? Maybe it's Yemen. Anyway. They're so secluded from the rest of the world that it looks kind of alien. Now this is just a straight up photo. And this would work. This if I got AI generated weird ass trees like that image, I want to go here, but open image in new tab. If I got this, I would be absolutely ecstatic. Am I going to get that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to generate individual weird ass trees. Like, look at that. It's weird as hell. Okay, weird owls. Like, I want this shit to look so weird. Like, look at that. That doesn't even look real. I mean, obviously there's only, oh, there we go. I was gonna say there's only like 4 pixels in that thing, but that's the idea. Something cool about that. Or that. Kind of like the giant like sand dune right by the beach. Like, that's super interesting. Imagine that being out the window. Obviously, we'd crop out the water. I'm not really interested in the water. Can I crop this way? Pretty sure there's a crop shortcut. I just don't know it. Typically, I'd just make a clipping mask. So if we crop out the water, and I guess the cars, that's certainly an option. If that's out the window, that's pretty damn cool. Let's say I don't get the AIs like working, then we might have to resort to something like that. Or I like the canyons in it. Where's it? I like the canyons in this. So let's copy that as well. Maybe we find some sort of combination there. Those. So I need to see if I can find man using a, what is that called? I guess a hacksaw. That's what they're called, right? So we need to find a dramatic pose, and I'm pretty sure this is not the kind of search that's going to give us dramatic poses in the photo. I mean, this is on to something. I'd have to change the face, obviously, to put a little more intensity into it. But let's, we'd have to swap out the hand there. We also need an entire lower body. We need to colorize it a bit, change the clothing, but we do have, essentially this pipe is going to be an arm, and we have the saw. Now, actually, this isn't going to work, because you can see he's grabbing this hacksaw like this, when what he's going to be using is going to be like this. So maybe I should change this to man sawing with like a knife. I don't know. Man, it's still showing hacksaws. You mean I could change the, hey, I have this. This is random. I have this knife. Like if I could get someone using this thing, maybe sawing with machete. Oops, extra slash. Oh God, what have I done? I'm gonna get like flagged on YouTube for messed up imagery. So probably not gonna find. This is what I was afraid of, not being able to find what I need. Now, I could be this person. I could set up the photo shoot using a machete or something. However, that's gonna be. I mean, or I could just, you know what? I could just cut out this arm and just replace it with something like that, and then put this in there. Now, I'm probably going to want to make that serrated. This is really just for the shape, but if it's not serrated, it's not going to make sense. Although, maybe that would make it more brutal. I mean, some guy just using what he's got, trying to chop an arm off with improper tools. But I can use this. This is at least, if nothing else, I can use this as a guide for, I could find like a head that fits better, and I can find one that's using that same exact like pose. I can use it to like get the sizing correct. I can use like the posture, the overall shape of the body, you know, the way the arm's coming around and really grabbing on. I think that arm right there is great. He like really like latched onto that thing. The more I look at this, the more I like this for the 4. And again, we'll do the same thing where, you know, we're going to affect that, make it go back into space with perspective. But I'm liking that. Now, is it going to work with the overall light scheme? I mean, maybe we have dramatic lighting, but we still have bright-ass, interesting colors. I might get rid of some of these squigglies in this. I don't know if I like the squigglies, but the overall shape is cool. So I'm not going to search dead body, especially not on YouTube. So maybe we don't do that. I may have to, but obviously just not on YouTube. Or I can recreate it. I can get Raquel out here, set up a photo shoot, kill her real quick, take some photos. Also, clothing is a problem. So let's see. Futuristic clothing. I don't know if futuristic is, wow, I can spell, I swear. I think we're going to find a lot. I can find something that's like classically inspired. That's cool, but it looks very ninja-like. It's a cool, simple dress. That's a little too much, I think. A little too futury. That's unique. That'd be cool if I didn't want to show the face. Huh. Look familiar? This is actually the first time I've ever seen the bottom of this. But you can see where I got some inspiration for my last painting. It's something I've always liked running into, like other images of the same thing that I've used as a reference that I've looked at in my painting for who knows how long. The same thing happened with my other paintings. So let me show you what I mean. If we go to my website and we go to this one, I actually found the person with these tattoos like long after I had like made this painting. And it was super weird seeing the exact tattoos like in like another setting. It was so surreal. But anyway, I did get the new painting on here. It's really just the main image. I don't have any details on it yet, so I need to get those in. I also don't have any details on this one either. That's a pretty good photo. I like that photo. So that is super cool that I found that. That might be a little too wonky looking. That's interesting. I like this. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's cool. I like this. I'm going to copy this. Better be a good dress, nothing like the ladies from Guilty Gear. I mean, not all the ladies from Guilty Gear are suspect. That's nice and simple, but doesn't really match like the classical vibe, I think. Although neither does really any of the other stuff we looked at. Kind of want drapery. Like, I want like almost like toga inspired. But I don't know if I'm gonna find that. That's cool. Oh, Jesus Christ. What even is that? Is that just mirrors? How about futuristic toga? Is that even a thing? Will that have any results? I guess so. That's cool. That's meh. Not as drapey as I am looking for. I mean, that's not futuristic, but I guess that's a thing if I need to reference it. And now we've just devolved completely away from toga. I guess that's the name in My Hero Academia. So yeah, there are essentially no results on this. So weird. I thought it was going to be a long, puffy dress since it's classical. I mean, it's more like classical in like the scene, but I want it to be unique and kind of like a combination of like not futuristic, but like the like unique side of futuristic with like the like rusticness of like classic Roman. Yeah, like if you combine classic Roman with like that, something that like is just the viewer just has never seen anything like that before, right? Because I'm to be honest, I've never really seen anything like this before, at least exactly like that. Maybe in style, you know, this like sci-fi ish space, yeah, space style. Um, actually, let's try that. Let's try space toga. More of this My Hero Academia characters. So yeah, no space toga on the internet anywhere. All right, but I think that is where I'm going to call it for this stream. We didn't really get much accomplished. We got a lot of inspiration. Nothing solidified yet, which I guess I kind of expected. This takes a long friggin' time. So the question is, do I continue this tomorrow? Do I just gather uh, influences, or do I do something else? That's a good question. Now, one thing um, I want to do a bit of editing on this, not changing it at all, but um, do a few things. Get it prepped for Instagram. I might just do that today. I don't know, but that's a possibility for tomorrow's stream. Or I just start a small painting. I do think I have another small panel. I could do something quick, but to be honest, my 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 brain won't be in it because I'm going to be thinking about this project. But anyway, I think for now I'm going to plan on working on this tomorrow, even though it's probably going to be mega boring. I can try to. I don't think I'm going to be able to install Ubuntu before tomorrow, so I'll have to wait until next week to revisit the AI. Maybe it doesn't even turn out. Maybe it makes a bunch of poop. I don't know. I mean, the other option is, what if we do this? AI generated landscape. That's cool. That's also cool. However, I don't know. I like the idea of this kind of floating there. That's cool. Maybe I take the easy way out. Like that looks too much. Yeah, that looks like that doesn't look AI inspired. That looks like it's just designed. You should see a random Halloween. You should make a random Halloween painting. Nah, I'm good. There's some interesting things here. However, I don't like the idea of, like, to be honest, I wanted to have a bit more control over what images I gave to it. Some of these are interesting, but they look like they're just designed, not AI. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. That looks like it's AI inspired or AI created, I should say. That looks like it's just a painting. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking. That's cool, even though it's probably not AI generated. Although it says top AI artists. Maybe it is. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to call it there. Tomorrow, probably more of the same. This captivating content. And I need to build the panel. I'm going to probably build the new panel. I guess I'm going to try this weekend. If it doesn't happen, I will be on vacation the week of September 13th. It'll definitely happen then. So if it doesn't happen this weekend, I think I'm going to be busy this weekend, but then that week. So I'm going to try this week. If I do, I'll get it set up. I'll get it primed, ready to go. Maybe even, I don't know if I'm going to have it in premature, if I'm going to use a more modern like ground, but we'll see. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. If you are interested in more, there's my website, uvardixon.com. There's Instagram. I'm going to be posting this image in detail on there. And that's probably it. other than YouTube. You can go back, you can watch the making of this painting. Almost, I don't want to say almost all of it, but a large portion of it is on YouTube. Uh, Not so much the end of it. Although I guess the last few streams were on YouTube, so you get to see most of the middle, skip a little bit, and then the end. So, as always, thanks for watching. Have a good Monday evening and a good Tuesday, and I will be back here tomorrow at the same time, working on this new composition. So, as always, thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Later.